all of the things that have happened.
Yeah.
How are you?
You just asked a very huge question.
Yeah.
I would say I'm fine because, you know, my sadness is not going to change anything. So, regardless of whatever I feel,
Yeah.
at least I'm still here, I'm still alive.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I would say I'm fine.
So in this answer now, you talked about sadness.
Yeah.
And again, there's a lot that has happened.
Yeah, a lot.
First, obviously, I know that the loss of your husband has been the biggest of all of this.
Yeah.
What is the saddest thing for you in all the things that have happened after? For a grieving widow who has a less than
5-month-old baby.
Yes, at the time of the passing.
Yeah.
What has been the saddest thing that has happened since this?
I feel like the saddest thing I've experienced so far is the fact that the person that's supposed to be in guard for my late husband, this person that's supposed to be my son and highest protector, is our chief prosecutor.
Right.
And he's been everywhere trying to, recruit people to turn against my son and I, both online and offline. Like, he's been from one threat to another.
This is Mohbad's father you're talking about?
Yeah, my father-in-law,
Father-in-law.
Yeah, so it's been from one threat to another. We no longer feel safe. Like, I literally get death threat almost every day in my DMs. I barely go out. My baby, his grandchild also, he's been deprived of so many childhood memories, but there's nothing for me to do than just to see how things goes.
What's the problem with your father-in-law exactly?
Yeah,
between you and him?
Yeah, so I feel like the problem is just about family disputes.
Okay, what do you mean?
The problem is more like a competition between him and Liam.
Between your father-in-law and your son?
Yes.
A competition?
It sounds funny, but that's the actual truth.
Can you explain that?
Yeah, because after the death of my husband, a lot happened, and my father-in-law wanted to be in control
of
my husband's properties.
Right.
The fact that there is Liam in the picture, because there was one time I actually called him to ask him, like, what happened? What do we do to deserve all of this? Like, why have you been out there defaming your grandchild and me? And he was like, why do I have to take Liam away from him? Why do I have to take Liam to my mother-in-law's place on the island? That is my husband rented apartment. Right. That was not supposed to bring him over to meet him in a corridor, because himself and my mother-in-law, they are not in good terms. Right. Right. He was just trying to manipulate me. So,
So your father-in-law and your mother-in-law are not on good terms.
Yeah.
Right. So he was not asking, why did you take the son
to
the mother?
Yeah, after my husband's demise.
Yes, right.
So I explained to him, I made him understand that my mother-in-law has been the only one asking of Liam. He never did. Instead, he was always online defaming us, and then I apologized to him. Okay. Yeah, I apologized. I told you I was sorry that I would bring him over to him.
When was this?
That was I think 3 weeks after my husband's demise. Then it was like I started going online talking about the DNA.
Yes.
And
So he had already started talking about the DNA.
DNA, yes. That was when I called him.
Right. That's when you now called him.
Yes. So he made me understand that why do I have to take Liam to my mother-in-law's place? Like, is it not the owner of his grandchild? Like, trying to make me feel like a bad person. But I understand where he was heading to. So I just had to apologize to him to make things, to make things calm. Then I asked him again, like, what happened? Why are you doing this to me? Right. Then he responded by saying he's sure that a lot of people would have called me to tell me what he wants. And truly, a lot of people called me. My dad, my mother-in-law, my husband's friend, and few people we have around literally called me to tell me what he wants. And he told my father whatever that belongs to my husband, I know that I have access to, I should make sure that I hand over everything to him, including the landed property got for Liam. So I told him the same thing that he has been telling people, like, this is what these people are telling me. And I made him understand that, Daddy, you have, like, my husband got through 2 lands before his demise, one in Ekiti and one in Ikorodu. Like, why do you want to take the one that belongs to Liam? Right. Then he was like, I shouldn't question him, that is what he wants. Then I said, okay. Then he was like, what effort? He said it in Yoruba. I don't know if you understand Yoruba.
Yes, I do.
Okay, so he said, irú àyàwó ló kó lọ́ọ̀yà promise tí mo pè pé kó gbé nǹkan mú kó fún mi ní nǹkan mọ́ mi tó bá mi sọ wípé ó bímọ ṣé ọmọ mi náà fẹ́ máa lalẹ̀ fún mi ni. Like, I don't know if I can translate it in English. So he actually said, like, what effrontery does my lawyer,
does your lawyer have?
My husband's lawyer has.
Right.
He requested for his son's properties, and he was telling him that he has a son. So, like, who is his grandchild to start asking him to start dictating what he wants?
That's why you talk about the competition between him and the grandchild.
Yeah.
So he said to his son's lawyer, who is the grandchild, to challenge him on Mohbad's
my husband's property. Yeah. But like, this is one thing that most people do not know. And, you know, I was not even given the chance to talk. So I was not given the chance to say my own side of the story. So, you know, so as much as I feel like, some things need to be addressed, I still had the mindset that I don't know how people would react if I should talk, because without hearing anything from me, they've crucified me, they've said a lot of things about me. Yeah. So, you know, that alone has, you know, made me, like, my low self-esteem to be very, very low, because, you know, I no longer have the audacity to at least speak on things that really matters. Yeah. So I think that is one thing that has been causing the whole issue. The fact that Liam is in the picture.
Right.
Yeah.
But this is his grandchild.
It sounds strange to me also. You know, it will sound weird to say it, but, you know, I'm left with no choice. I just have to say it as it is.
Yeah.
Because it has really gotten to a point that it's either I speak up or I die in silence. Yeah, so I feel like me speaking up will be the right thing for me at this point.
The biggest thing that I think, based on what I've read, your father-in-law has, I think there are two things that I have heard. I don't know if they are from him. One is that he has questioned whether yourself and your husband were married. Yeah. And two, he has questioned whether your husband is the father
of my
Liam.
child.
Yes.
Yeah.
On the first one, you know, I know that as far back as 2003, if I remember correctly, a popular actress had gone online and confirmed that you guys were married, you know?
Yeah.
What is the exact status of that marriage thing? Because I think that's the first thing that your father-in-law has
spoke about. Yeah, it was a traditional marriage, like,
right.
Yeah.
Which is recognized under the law.
Of course it is.
Right. So it wasn't an introduction you did?
No, it wasn't. The funniest thing is that he was even the one that made that possible. I mean, my father-in-law.
How so?
That is the funniest thing, because left to me and my husband, we just wanted to live our life. Because we were young couples. Like, I was 23 when I got pregnant. Right. And so he was the one coming to us, because that man is actually my friend. Like, we were literally close.
Yes, I've seen some text messages.
We were very close. Like, he's like a father to me. You know, that is one thing that the media did not get to know. He's like he was my friend in that marriage. So he was even the one that came to me to tell me that, you know, I'm like, now that I'm pregnant, that we need to get things done. That if I was to be his daughter, he would never allow me to train my child in my husband's house, because he was not married, because he's not married to me. That I should go to my parents' house, I should get a list and send it to him.
So your father-in-law is the one that even encouraged you guys to
That is married. The funniest thing. Left to me, I won't get married, because, you know, I knew my husband loved me, and he knows I love him too. So we just want to live our life. Right. So he was even the one that initiated that marriage. Right.
And he was present, of course, during the marriage.
He was the happiest. He called me early morning on my introduction, on my marriage, on my engagement day, I think around 6 a.m. He called me to pray for me. Like, it was the happiest that day. He was the happiest.
And now he's saying that marriage did not happen.
Yeah, because, you know, my husband is not here to defend me. It's so sad, Mr. Chudi. It's really sad. But that's the core reality I now have to face. It's really sad, honestly.
Okay. Then the one that, sorry, I'm sorry. Please. I'm very sorry.
Yeah, I'm fine now. Thank you.
Okay. Then he questioned the paternity of the child.
Yeah.
How did you hear that your father-in-law was questioning the paternity of your child?
I got to know online.
So he came online and did a video?
He never called me. He never called any of the family members to ask for the DNA of Liam.
She just came online and said, Mohbad is not the father of the child.
I swear to God.
Did you call him after that?
Of course I did.
And then what did he say?
He didn't say anything. He was just saying, why do you have to take Liam away from him? Like, you know, he didn't, like, I was expecting him to talk about the pattern. Like, ask me for the DNA. I'm your daughter-in-law. He never did. Even when I called him, what he was telling me was, why do I have to take Liam away from him?
So it's like he's punishing you for taking... Is there nobody in the family that can call him?
To order?
Yes.
He's the head of the family. I think he should be in his late 50s. Right. So he's the head. So I don't think there should be anybody somewhere that would, because he knows what to do, he knows the right thing. But, you know, he's just using the DNA as a tool to punish me, to punish my son and I. Yeah.
When's the first time he asked for a DNA test in public?
So when the DNA negative came out, at first I didn't take it serious because I was like, who is this guy asking me for the DNA of my child? Like, who is in the grand scheme of things? Like, this guy is nobody to us. So why is he asking for the paternity?
Who is the person that asked?
I don't want to mention his name.
Right. Was this a blogger?
Like social media.
One of the social media content creators.
Yeah.
Okay. Right.
Then, you know, I was like, why is he asking for the DNA of my child? Yeah. So at first I didn't take him serious. Not until my father-in-law started talking about it. And I had to put a call through to him. You know, I called him, I asked him again, like, Daddy, what really happened? Like, why are you doing this to Liam? And he kept on saying, why do I have to take him to my mother-in-law's place? Does it bear my mother-in-law's surname? Like, what effort do I have to take him to my mother-in-law's place and not his own house in Ikorodu? Is he not the owner of his grandchild? You know? And I still try to tell me, Daddy, I'm scared because you've been going out there to say different things about me. But I'm scared. Like, you know, you cannot keep doing this and expect me to bring Liam to you. Then he was like, okay, what's the problem? And, you know, he hung up. So I was expecting him to talk about the DNA, but he never did. So I think, no, the next day he went on live on TikTok, on Instagram live to talk about the DNA again. Like, he tried talking about it like almost every day. So I think 3 days after I called him again. Like, I wanted to ask him, like, what does he really want? Like, I really want him to stop going out there to defame my baby. But he didn't pick up my calls. I called him repeatedly for like a week, but he did not pick up. So I stopped calling. So I think around November, it was around November, he sent a message to my lawyer.
Okay.
Yeah, he sent a message to my lawyer that I should bring Liam to him, that he wants to perform a DNA test on him. So my lawyer sent him to me, and I told my lawyer that I am scared. Like, I'm scared to take my baby to him because he has gone out there to say so many defamatory things about me. He has said it publicly that he hates me so much. Like, he even went as far as trying to cajole my brother-in-law to lie, like to implicate me one way or the other. You know, yeah, because, you know, he said it online that I used to put substance in my husband's food.
Who said this?
My father-in-law. Then I would go and F around after. Because he never knew it was my brother-in-law that prepared my husband's last meal. So when he got to realize that it was my brother-in-law, he put a call through to my mother-in-law. But fortunately, I was with her that day. So he just called to tell her that, he just got to know that it was Adura that prepared my husband's last meal. That Adura and Mama should come over to his house in Ikorodu so they will know how to package the whole thing and put it on my head. I was so fortunate to be with Mama that day because I had to put it on record. And, you know...
So you have a recording of this?
They should, you know, so that they will know how to put the other on my head. What if it was poison that killed my husband? That Adura should come to him because he does not want to lose another child. Because now he didn't know that it was my brother-in-law that prepared his last meal, and he has gone out there to talk about me putting something in his food. Because now we do not know the result, what the autopsy would bring. Like, what if the autopsy said he died of poison? I'm so grateful that I was with my mother that day because it's not as if I had the intention of recording him, but I just had to do the recording because his intention was really bad. And for him to have thought of something like that, you know, I feel like, this man does not have my best interest at heart. But I was so fortunate to be my mother that day, so I had to put that thing on record.
I understand, but that essentially means that your father-in-law wanted to accuse you of murdering your husband.
He has tried. There is nothing he has not said. So when he got to realize that it was my brother-in-law that prepared that last meal, he stopped that poisoning narrative. Then you move to many other
Something
ones.
else.
Yeah.
A question for those of us that may be ignorant of this.
Okay.
Why can't you do the test without him?
The reason is because I've been called different names. He has called me a promiscuous woman. He has called me a cheating wife. You know, I've been called different names that people tend not to believe whatever I have to say anymore. Like, he has said so many things to my persons, and I feel like if I should get the DNA done without his consent, without him being present, that will cause another riot. That will cause another problem, because you know that is what he actually want me to just do one silly mistake, because he knows that I already caught him. Like I'm about to stop his means of surviving, and he knows that once. So now he just want to frustrate me to do things out of anger.
Yeah.
So he want to frustrate me to go ahead and do the DNA. So once it is done, then he will start going out there that, oh, the result is fake. And people will believe him because he's been the only one talking. Do you understand?
I get that. But do you think even if it's done in a reputable hospital, he will still be able, people will still believe him? Because if according to you, he's trying to frustrate it.
I don't think you, like, do you go online often and often?
No, I don't.
My father-in-law is now a celebrity. He's everywhere.
So I don't understand what you're dealing with.
People, like, he's at least in a week, at least he do great interview. I think, if I'm not mistaken, like 2 or 3 times in a week.
Right.
So people tend to listen to whatever he has to say because he has been the only one talking. Like the rest of the family has just been silent, because of the legacy of my husband. There is no way we would talk or say anything that my husband's name will not be attached to it.
Yeah.
Right now, as I'm here, I'll be addressed as Mohbad's wife or Mohbad's widow. So his name is attached to whatever. So the glory, is being attached. So I don't want his legacy to get ruined for me. But I'm very sure that is why the other family member has been quiet.
Yeah.
And
So what are you going to do? Because if I understand what you're saying that because of the way that he has mobilized public sympathy, anything you do now will be misinterpreted. So you're being careful.
Yeah.
But it seems like he leaves because if what you're saying is he doesn't want to do this DNA.
He doesn't.
So it feels like you have no other. So what other choice do you have?
That is why I'm here. Like, I feel like there should be an organization protecting children in Nigeria, because I know where all of this thing happening to Liam can never happen abroad. Now
that he's gone to TV stations.
Yeah.
He said this. So what happens next now?
Okay, so myself and my lawyer will be going to the court to report these whole incidents to the court, and to also get the permission from the court to get DNA done under their supervision.
Right. So the court will supervise this.
Yes.
So your lawyer is deciding that you guys are going to the court to say, let's do this DNA.
Yeah, under your supervision.
Under your supervision, right.
Yeah, and we might probably, we don't know, publish it online for people to see.
So you ask the court for permission to publish the DNA.
Yeah, so we can keep them updated on how
this is going.
The whole thing is going on, because I feel like my calmness will just make things worse.
Yeah.
In 5 years, we'll be here till forever.
Yeah.
And no DNA will be done because it seems uninterested.
It seems that ever since Mohbad died, you have not even had time to grieve your husband.
I've not even won the death of my husband. Like, I've not even seen closure at all. It still feels like my husband is still alive because he's in Yaba morgue. He has not been buried.
He has not been buried.
Yeah, he has not been buried. He has not been buried. It's so sad. He has not been buried. And he's been pieces twice. They literally did 2 autopsies. The government autopsy and the private autopsy my father-in-law did.
Yeah.
And I can tell you for a fact that there is no genuine reason why he's still there. My father-in-law has no genuine reason. But, he's been granting interviews saying, oh, the government do not want him to get justice. The government is this, the government is that. Like, he's been manipulating the public. Like, he has said so many things. That people, I don't feel like there's anything that people would say that the people in public faces would believe again, because a lot has been said. He's been granting interviews saying the government have been the one delaying my husband's the inquest. Meanwhile, it was one of his supporter that like the woman has been on, like the woman is always on TikTok 247. Just all those American women. So the woman was so much interested in the case, and the woman later got to realize that my father-in-law was not being truthful to her. So she said she wants to, like, she's interested in the case and she wants to have a personal lawyer to join the inquest. So the lawyer submitted an application to the magistrate courts that he wants to join the inquest, and he also wants the inquest to start from the beginning again. Like he wants us to start all over again.
So that'll be a third process.
So the lawyer and the judge and the court has been, there's been back and forth. That is why the inquest is on hold. But my father-in-law has been granting interview, manipulating the government.
So you're saying even your father-in-law is also part of the process that is delaying the burial?
That is the funniest thing.
That the burial of his son is being delayed also because of all this drama that your father-in-law is causing. And
he knows what to do to get things done. Like all he has to do is just talk to that woman, because they used to be friends before they had issues. So all you have to do is just talk to that woman so that the woman can, probably withdraw, or so they can just make an agreement so that the court can open the coroner inquest. But he has refused to do the needful. Instead, he was always going on interviews, screaming the government's name.
But he's the one delaying the process.
Himself, him and his supporter.
Do you accept the results of the coroner's inquest?
Man, that is another question. That is another oddful question, because I knew that there is a nurse involved in this case. He reacted to rejection. And since my husband, even the night my husband died, that my father-in-law got to the house, the nurse even narrated everything that happened to him. In fact, my husband's manager wanted to get the nurse arrested that night, but he asked us to let her go, that he does not have any business with her.
Your father-in-law asked them to let the nurse go?
That we should let her go, that he doesn't have any business with her. And, he despite the begging, that, a lot of people begged him not to bury my husband that night, but he insisted I was going to bury him. In fact, even the day they wanted to bury my husband, they didn't inform me. I got to know online.
You were not informed that you were going to bury your husband?
Mr. Chu, a whole lot has happened. Even the day my husband, even the day of his burial, they wanted to kidnap Liam from me at this scene. Like, my father-in-law and there's one woman, the woman is like, I don't know, I don't want to call it, the woman is, but they have a relationship, they have a close relationship. It's more like they had plans in collecting Liam from me that day, because it got worse to the extent that we had to put Liam inside nylon to take him out of that space.
So you're saying this battles in the fighting started from the day
second day my husband died up to this moment. And so, the fact that the autopsy results came out inconclusive is one thing that I don't, it's hard to accept. Because I knew so well that my husband actually had an injury from the fight he had with his friend.
Which friend?
His name is Prime Boy.
Okay.
And I also knew that he reacted to an injection. Because my husband was fine before the nurse came, although he had an injury. In fact, the day he died, he had a podcast with one girl. What's the girl's name? Susan Park.
Susan Pajok.
Pajok, yeah, I think. I don't know. He has a podcast. So for you to know, he was actually, and that was the day our son clocked 5 months. 12. I hate, like, that 12 number is a weird number to me. Because, it's the day I'm celebrating my child's birthday, and I'm also mourning my husband. So, I knew he reacted to an injection, and the fact that at the end of the autopsy it came out inconclusive just because of one mistake that my father-in-law made. The fact that he buried him. If he was not buried, should have been another thing entirely, but because it was buried, so they said his body has already decomposed. So most of the tissues that they are supposed to remove from his body has rotten. And the fact that it came up inconclusive is one thing I don't even want to accept.
Yeah.
Because Liam would go up to see all of these things, and he would ask me questions, and the story would not be interesting if at the end of the day there was no justice for his father.
Yeah.
The fact that he was bullied, by his oppressors, that alone is another thing that is outside. Now, up to this moment, nothing was done to it.
Right.
The fact that
oppressors, you're talking about the whole Naira Marley thing.
Yes. The fact that the bullying part, the bullying part is part of the reason why the whole world came out for justice.
Yeah.
And up to this point, the police actually promised us that they will be brought to book and all of that. But up to this point, nothing was done.
Yeah.
Do you understand?
So do you agree that whole bullying is part of what led to the death?
You don't have to kill somebody with sword before killing them. I'm not going to lie to you. They cannot deny the fact that they made life so unbearable for my husband.
And Naira Marley and his crew made life unbearable for your husband.
They cannot deny that fact. That one thing they cannot deny. A lot of people might be everywhere to support them in bashing me, so that I wouldn't talk the bullying aspects. But the few ones that are online cannot be erased. And Liam will go up to say all of those things. And I just pray that boy will not grow up to be traumatized, because imagine seeing group of people beating his father that way. It is traumatizing, because even me that is his wife, whenever I think about those things, it really breaks me. I'm not gonna lie to you, but at this point I'm fighting for my life and the life of my child. So and his father is not even his father has been on the Naira Marley side. He has been talking, he has been speaking for them,
Yes.
He has been trying to save them.
Why do you think he's doing that?
So who am I? I don't know. For any reason best known to him, I don't know. I really do not know. I really do not know. So
essentially, you're saying that the justice for Mohbad hasn't been gotten
up to this moment.
And the justice for Mohbad that your father-in-law is asking for is not the same justice for Mohbad that the public is asking for.
It is not.
Yeah. And you're essentially fighting on two fronts.
Yeah.
You're fighting for justice for your husband.
Yeah.
Again, and then you're having the people who are supporting his oppressors, as you call them, attacking you.
Yeah.
And you're also being attacked by your father-in-law.
Father-in-law.
At the same time.
Yeah.
And your father-in-law seems to be supporting the people who you say oppressed your husband.
Yes.
How are you taking care of yourself in all of this? How?
Is it you mean financially?
Yes, financially, emotionally. What is your support system? How are you taking care of yourself?
It's just God's grace. And also my families, My family has been my pillar. They've been there for me, my mom, my dad, my auntie, and my elder brother. I'm so grateful for the gift of them, because they've made, they've shown me love. They've shown me all the love I deserve. And my husband's friend also.
Who is that?
They've been there for us financially. My husband's true friends.
Right.
Yeah, friends.
Right.
I don't know if I should mention them.
Do we know some of them? Yeah.
Yeah, Bella.
So Bella has been there.
Aya.
Yeah, okay.
Shei Vibes.
Right.
T.I.
Right.
Wadud, and I think yes. Yes, those 5 people has really been there for us financially. I'm not
so
going
it's not just in public, in private. People
most times, which is mostly in private. They loved Liam so much. Financially, shelter. Even without me asking, they would just send money into my account to get Liam stores. Sometimes Bella would ask me to dress him up. Bella and his wife, they will ask me to dress Liam up because they also have a baby boy. Liam is 3 months older than him. They will take us out, but get Liam stores. Liam